Master's wisdom words. Cultivating Tao is also nurturing the heart of joy, so don't wear a frown. Indeed, the more we practice Tao, the more joyful and happier we will be. If you become more and more closed off and feel suffering, it means you are cultivating Tao in the wrong way. Seek help from your Tao seniors as soon as you can. To elaborate this point, I would like to share with you a short story. Once upon a time, there was a young man who lost a hand in an accident. After that, he lost his hope and led a life of despair. He finally became a beggar and began to beg for a living. One day, he went to a big house, begging for food. Then a rich man came out from the house. Then he asked the rich man for some food. Hearing this, the rich man pointed to a large pile of bricks and told the one-armed beggar to move them to the backyard. The beggar was angry and shouted that the rich man was mocking him for his physical disability. The rich man then calmly picked up the brick with one hand and said, "My one hand is able to lift a brick. Why don't you do likewise?" Although still angry, the beggar decided to comply. He spent the whole morning carrying them to the backyard, brick by brick. With his lone hand, exhausted and hungry, the beggar, at long last, completed the task. So the rich man rewarded the beggar with some money, saying, "You earned it through hard work and honest effort." Bowing deeply, the beggar replied that he would forever remember the rich man's kindness and teaching. Years later, a well-dressed visitor came to the same house to pay his respects to the rich man. This visitor was exceptionally dignified. He was a one-armed beggar, now living a completely different sort of life. After moving the bricks, something in him changed. He had found his self-worth and diligently worked to become successful. It is always possible to maintain self-respect and put in an honest effort, regardless of circumstances. When we give of ourselves in whatever way we can, gods and Buddhas will return the favor. Only by being independent, even in the face of adversity, can we feel dignified and start accumulating inner and outer wealth. As a Tao cultivator, we should cleanse and purify our hearts, train and discipline ourselves by Dharma teachings, donation, and voluntary service to others. If we always keep positive thoughts, we are like Buddhas, who always make people become happy, joyful, tolerant, and merciful. Our destiny is in our own hands. When we encounter some difficulty in our life, we should accept it with joy and face every moment with a peaceful heart. Don't complain. Reflect on what we have done. If there is a complaint in the heart, the resentment will become deeper and deeper. Always keep open-minded. I'm sure good luck will come to us in the end. As Buddhas have told us, each and every one of us has Buddha nature, so we are Buddhas. Since we are Buddhas ourselves, we should look at the world in Buddha's perspectives. Always be pure, happy, joyful, worry-free, and no anger. The spiritual stress comes from the gift of God and also the manifestation of our inner wisdom. Hence, in the process of our life, no matter how tough things we encounter, we should be thankful. Everything is God's best arrangement. So we will learn to accept every adversity and turn it as a stepping stone to elevate ourselves. Life has mixed flavors. Whether it is a sea of suffering or a mountain of full treasures, it all depends on ourselves. Everyone has the same 24 hours a day. It is you who choose to spend in a happy way or a worried way. Of course, as a dog cultivator, we all choose to live in a happy way. The most importantly, we all know how. Okay, that's all for my explanation. If I made any mistakes, I beg God's and Buddha's mercy and forgiveness. And Master, my dear Tao brothers and sisters, please give me comments and suggestions. Thank you very much for your listening.